Now we have seen assertion. Okay, so suppose I write over here system.out.println before assertion error. Okay, and out here I will write after assertion error. Okay, so somewhere in between this condition will fail, right? Now I execute this test as a Testng suite. So what happens is, if you look at the output, in the output before assertion error gets printed. Okay, but after that, after assertion error is not printed, the parameterized test, that is the register test, starts. So that means that in a test, if an assertion fails, right, in a test, if an assertion fails, the lines after that assertion failure are not executed. It makes sense in a way that fine, the test case has failed, skip over to the next test case. Okay, it happens like this. If I have got 3 test cases and this passes, the control goes over to this test case fails in between, so only half the test has been executed, it fails, the error will be reported and the control goes to the new place, right? But sometimes you might want to report a failure but continue forward. Okay, this part of the test case you want to be executed or somehow even if the assertion is failing, right? So for that we use a try and a catch block around assertion. Try catch, and I will write throwable T, because assertion is an error, it's not an exception. I have to write throwable. Throwable can catch errors as well as exception. We saw this in module number 5 when we were seeing exception handling. We saw what throwable is and what an exception is, right? So we'll have to write throwable over here, and I will just write over here system.out.println caught the error. Now what will happen? The control will come here, it will print, it will verify the assertion, that is it will assert that whether the condition is true or not. If it is true, the assertion will pass, the control will not go to catch block. But if the assertion fails, then an assertion error is thrown and the control goes to the catch block, and after that the code will start running normally. Okay, now I will run the testng.xml, right click, run as Testng suite, and when I look at the reports, now here's the catch. When I open the report, the test will be reported as pass. This is because I have caught the exception. Now somewhere in the catch block, we know that whenever the control comes in the catch block, there is an error. But the error is caught, it is not reported. Okay, so we have to write some code over here which will report the error into the reports. Okay, where this kind of scenario is used. This kind of scenario can be used on a website, suppose, which is having lot of links, quicker.com. Okay, I am writing a test case. Okay, or suppose a test case like quicker.com. Yeah, on this website there are a lot of links. Okay, and my test case says that okay fine, click all the links on electronics and technology and verify that the next page is opening or not. Okay, so you write a for loop which will keep on clicking each and every link using Selenium. We will see how to do that. Selenium will write a you will have to write a for loop which keeps on clicking each and every link. So suppose this link is not working over here, or this link is not working. You don't want the code to stop in between. You want fine that this error should be reported and the links after that should be tested. So if this link is not reported, if this link is not working, then some kind of exception or assertion error will be thrown. The assertion will be failing for this link. So what you have to do is that you have to make sure that whenever you are clicking on the link and you are using assertion after that to verify whether the next page is opening or not, you put the whole code inside a try catch like this, and in the catch block you report the error if the link is not working. Now how do I report the error? We will see later on when we do the framework. This part we will see later on. We have to use something known as listeners for this in Testng. We will be looking at it when we do module number 18. Sorry, when we will be doing module number 20, we will be looking at it in the section of how to generate the reports and XSLT reports and all. We will look into that. Okay. Yeah, over here when we generate the reports and in assertion and reporting error part over here in the framework, we'll have a deeper look into this topic. Now let's move further and let us see how to using Testng with Selenium. I've already told you what are the advantages of Testng over JUnit. Yeah, that's what I feel, that Testng somehow when used with Selenium is a better thing because it is simple. The annotations are simpler than JUnit. It is easier to parameterize test cases in Testng. It is easier to run in parallel. Although the Testng reports, if you talk about the reports, then Testng XSLT reports. These are the Testng XSLT reports. In 5 to 10 minutes we will generate them. These look very flashy. You see that it generates a look like this, right? Whereas in JUnit the reports look something like this. They are a little bit less flashy, right? The Testng reports are a little bit more presentable, right? You can easily see how many have the percentage pass, skipped, failed, the look and feel, and the layout is also very good. Fine. So now we will look at how to generate these XSLT reports, but before that we'll have to download and configure Ant in our system. Now what is Ant? Ant is something which can help you to run your programs on Linux based systems, or it can also help you to run your program on command prompt. Suppose I want to run this whole suite through command prompt. How will I do it? Till now I have been running it through Eclipse. I need a special tool in command prompt to run it, so that I give some run command over here and my project starts running. So we do it with the help of a tool known as Ant. Ant is a build and compile tool which is made by Apache. You can download it from internet by going to Google and just type download Ant. Okay, you can go to Apache and binary distributions out here and you can download the latest version out here. Yeah, this is the zip file. You can download this zip file. Okay, when you download this zip file in your project, when you download this, wait a minute, let me show you where I have got the zip file. I have the zip file in G drive. Yeah, when I extracted the Apache and zip file, this is the Apache and zip file. I extracted it into this folder. Okay, in this folder, open this folder and copy the path of this folder. Okay, and once you have copied the path of this folder, you right click on the start menu, click on explore, right, and after copying this, you go to your my computer, you click on the properties, and you will get a window like this. In Windows 7 environment, okay, if you are using Windows 7 or Vista, you will get this window when I have the screenshot with me. Yeah, this one. You'll get this kind of window when you click on this advanced link over here. When you go to my computer properties, you will get this kind of window, and when you click on advanced link over here, you get this system properties window. In this system properties window, go to this advanced tab. Alright, and similarly out here in my PC as well, I will go to my properties and go to the advanced tab. Once you are in your advanced tab, click on environment variables button. This button will be there in Windows 7 or Vista as well. Now be very careful while using these variables. These are your system variables. Something wrong can happen to your PC if you edit and if you do something wrong. We are going to make a new environment variable here by clicking on this new button and name the variable &_home, right, &_home in caps lock, right, and give the path of ant. You don't have to install ant in your system, you have to configure ant in your system. Alright, give the path of ant over here. This is the new variable which I just made. Now scroll down and there will be a variable called path. Click on edit. Don't delete it by mistake. Click on edit button and don't change anything in this variable value. Go to the end of this variable value. Be very careful. Go to the end, put a semicolon and paste the path which you copied out here as well. And after pasting it, give a slash and write bin. So basically you have to give the path till and bin folder. That means this folder, bin folder, in the path property. Okay, and click on OK and done. Right. So this configures ant in your system. Now if you go to command prompt and just type ant and hit enter. Okay, so okay, just a minute. If you have to restart your command prompt if it's already opened, right? Just type ant now, and I am getting the error message unable to locate tools.jar. Okay, unable to locate a jar file called tools.jar. So this is a general error which most of you will also get. The solution to this is go to the installation directory of your Java. Go to program files, Java folder. Okay, there will be a folder called JRE, there will be a folder called JDK. Go inside JDK and go inside library of JDK. There will be a file called tools.jar inside the library folder of JDK. You copy this tools.jar, move back and open JRE and go inside the library folder of JRE and paste the tools.jar there. Basically ant looks for tools.jar file in JRE, but it's not available, so you have to copy paste it from JDK. Okay, or you can download it from the internet as well if you don't find it. Fine. Now give the ant command again. Now I get an error message, build file, build.xml does not exist, build failed. So ant is a tool which always looks for a file called build.xml when it is running the programs. If you want to run your project through ant, through command prompt, then you need to use build.xml. Yes. Okay, the question is, why is ant important? As I told you, ant is important to run your programs on servers, Linux based servers, Unix based servers. You cannot have Eclipse over there, right? Similarly, ant is used to run your programs on command prompt. On command prompt I cannot use eclipse. Okay, so sometimes in companies there is a requirement. Moreover, if you are using JUnit, then you cannot generate reports without running the program through Ant. And if you are using Testng and you have to generate these flashy reports, Testng results, these are only generated through Ant. These cannot be generated through Eclipse. Okay, so now moving further, I have to make sure I have a file called build.xml. Build.xml file is the heart of Ant. Okay, now I will take this file from another project and paste it in my Eclipse project over here under the project. Make sure the rule is the build.xml file should be under the project. Okay, here is build.xml file which I just pasted in the project. Okay, now this is a XML file. It's got lot of configurations. It's got configurations like the first thing is workspace home configuration, workspace home property. Ant will read this file and understand. Okay, Ant will read fine. The workspace home is $base directory. See, this is a kind of Unix command, $base directory. That means the current directory in which the build.xml file is present, that is module 9, is my workspace home. Workspace jars. This is the path where all your jar files are lying. I talked about jar files in module number 7 as well, or 6 as well, what jar files are. These are very important to run your program. So these are the jar files which you will be using in Selenium and all, or RC or WebDriver, right? So you have to put them at one location and give Ant the path of that location. Test.destination, DEST, is something which is having the value as workspace home/build. That means all the class files which you will be making in your program, those class files will be put inside a build folder under the project. What Ant will do, Ant will compile the whole program, okay, and the whole project, and it will put all the class files under this folder. I'll show it to you in some time. I'll show it to you working in some time. Then it will be more clear. Okay, test source means the place where all your Java files are lying. All the Java files are lying under the source directory. Okay, and ng.result is a variable which shows that where are the testng results. So the testng results are there in the test output folder out here. Okay, now I have all these properties defined, right? Apart from this, we have got various targets in Ant. For example, a target called clean. What it does is it deletes the destination directory. A target called compile. This will compile your program. A target called run. This will run your program as per the files present in testng.xml file. So all the tests present in testng.xml will be executed by Ant. Now this file you can download from the project code, the repository, and you will be able to just copy paste this file in your project and it will start working. Fine. Now let's see how it works. The first thing to make it work is that you need to go to the path where the project is present on your command prompt. Go to the path where the project is there. Right? We know that in this project under module 9 we have got build.xml, and build.xml tells Ant everything, that this is your jar file, here is your workspace, here is your source folder, the destination folder, and everything. So when I write Ant here now under this path, I will get an error. I'll get a message that Ant will execute the test. Now to execute the test, I run the target compile. Ant compile. Compile is a target in this file which will tell Ant to compile this whole code on basis of some JDK version. Suppose JDK version 1.5 in this case. Okay, so when I run Ant compile, this whole project will be compiled, and build successful message is there, written there. If I refresh my project, I will have a build folder made over here. Okay, inside this build folder, I will have all the class files corresponding to Java files. This is generated by Ant. This is the folder which I presented in the test.destination, test property. Okay, now if I give the command and clean, this will delete the build folder. If I refresh my project, this build folder is gone. Again I give the command and compile, and build folder will come back. Now I can give the command and run. This will execute the test or all the tests, and this will execute all the tests present in testng.xml, because in build.xml under the run command I have this I have this testng.xml mentioned out here, okay, in XML file set. So when I give and run, so this will run the whole code. You see, total test run 6, failures 0, skips 0. So it is printing everything. It is also printing the same output. You see that? The same output in the beginning, initializing Selenium, connecting to database, opening browser, everything, parameterize the test cases. Everything is getting printed using Ant. Right? So this is the way you work with Ant. Now about the reports. The reports which will be generated till now would be the test output, the normal reports. Now I want to generate Testng XSLT reports, which are special reports and which look very good in UI. Okay, so for generating those reports, in this file I have made a special target called make XSLT reports. Okay, these reports will only be generated if you have some jar files present in your jars folder. There are some jar files such as this saxon.jar or some other jar files which you need to generate these reports. You can download all the 5 to 6 jar files which are required to generate these reports from the link which is there in your account after you log in. Okay, you need to place, I have made a special link over there, download the jar files for making XSLT reports. Okay, now you can download the jar files from there and you can put them in the place where you have mentioned the location of jars. Those jar files are required to generate these reports. And now I have this special target called make XSLT reports. So I will go here and give the command and make XSLT reports. Now these are only generated through Ant. Okay, when I run this, okay, so it is giving me an error that some errors, style sheet c: workspace source XSLT testng results.xsl does not exist. Okay, you will have to make a new package in your source folder to make these reports. The package should be known as XSLT, and inside this, okay, inside this package you have to keep a XSL file, testng results.xsl. Okay, this one. Now you can clean your project again, because I have changed something in source code. If I have changed something in the source code, I have to clean compile the project. Okay, and compile and run. Make sure that you run the project before generating the XSLT reports. Otherwise, there is no point of generating XSLT reports. Now you give the same target and make XSLT reports. This XSL file is important. You can get this file again from your account. You can download all the code from there, and this is making the XSLT reports. Now if you refresh your project, refresh the project, in this a new folder called XSLT reports has been generated. This is the test output report, which were the primitive Testng reports. These are the XSLT reports. If you open these reports, go to index.html. I'll open index.html in Mozilla browser. See that? Pass percentage 100%, script 0, failed 0. You get everything. When you click on this out here, Yahoo News test, you get details about this test, Yahoo register test, Yahoo mail test. So this is the advantage of XSLT reports. Right? Now there is one more very important topic left after XSLT reports. That is building the bat file to run tests. Bat file is like an exe file. You double click on it and all your test cases start executing inside Testng. You don't have to do anything. You simply have to double click on that file and the test cases will start executing. What I mean to say is that when in the beginning of this tutorial, I showed you a small architecture of the framework, right? Let me open that again. Okay. Yeah, this was the one. I showed you that in the framework there are some Excel files and all, and there are test reports, scripts are there. Now what we do generally is that we do the modifications in the Excel file, and without opening Eclipse, without opening the command prompt, we have an exe file on which you double click and the Testng will start executing the tests as per the modifications done in the Excel file. So you don't have to do anything, and the reports will also be generated automatically, logs will also be generated, everything will happen. Okay, so how do you make that bat file? It is very easy. You open your command prompt, okay, and what do you do to run programs through AND? First you give the path where your project is lying, right? My project is lying under module 9, this path. So I give the command on command prompt cd this path. So I will open a notepad and I will note down this command. This is the first command, right? Okay, this is the first command. And after that I give the command and clean, then I give the command and clean, then compile, then run, then make XSLT reports. So I will give all the commands over here. I'll write and clean, compile, run, all the targets, and in the end I have to make sure the spelling is correct. I'll copy this, make XSLT reports, right? Now I will save this untitled notepad as in double quotes. In double quotes you write the name of your file as my test sheet.bat. .bat is the extension. You write it in double quotes, okay, and save this on desktop or save it anywhere. So this is the bat file, okay. Now I'll close the command prompts, and when you double click on this bat file, the Testng will start executing. It will run the tests and it will generate the reports as well. I'll double click on it and okay, I'm getting some error. Okay, it's not executing. Wait a minute. Alright, I have to give C: over here because actually my operating system is in some other drive and the workspace is in some other drive. So basically I have to navigate to the place where the project is there. Okay, first go to C drive and then go to the project. and then give the command and clean compile make XSLT reports. Okay, now when I run this, you see that it is running. It is running all the test cases. It is it is over. Okay, it was very fast. I'll run it again, and it will print all the outputs and all everything. And in the end, the reports will also be generated under the same project. Okay, suppose I delete these XSLT reports now. I'm deleting the XSLT reports from my project, and I run the bat file again. When I run the bat file, it will run all the tests, generate the XSLT reports, and these reports will be present in the project again. When I refresh my project, you see that XSLT reports, they come back, right? I will copy this bat file into the project, and this project code will be available for download. You can download that. Okay, that's it. That's all about Testng. Few things are left like assertion, reporting error. I'll take that in framework. Fine. Thank you guys. Thank you very much.